Hello, I'm Raimi. I'm a rising sophomore at St. Anne's High School, and this is my main project, the Smart Garden. So, my first milestone was just getting all the sensors and the LCD screen to work independently, but that was kind of homogeneous with getting them to work on the LCD screen, which was my second milestone. So this is kind of like an overview of both of them. So, let's start by looking at this sensor. So this is the moisture sensor. It has two probes on it, and they're each lined with copper plates. And now copper is conductive with water. So when these are put in the moist soil, a circuit is formed and current can travel through. And basically what the sensor does is it sees how much resistance that current is facing, and it can read that. So let's say there's more resistance, that means there's less water in the soil. And if there's more resistance, then yeah. So basically it takes that number and then it sends it to the microcontroller, to the Arduino, and then into my code. And my code basically takes that number from 0 to 1023 and maps it onto a map that's 0 to 100. That's like in this percentile range. That gives us a percent, which is awesome. And then the humidity sensor over here kind of works in the same way. It has two electrode plates inside of it that have a moisture substrate. And basically the moisture substrate between them kind of becomes more damp the more humidity there is in the air. And it's the same thing. The electrodes are able to create a circuit with that moisture in the substrate. So if there's more resistance, an IC pin is able to read that, send it to the Arduino, and read that number, which is displayed here on the LCD screen. So the LCD screen works pretty much like a flat screen TV, and it has a bunch of pixels that are little lights, and they flash to display the little words. And so I wanted it because I didn't want to have to open up my serial monitor every time I just wanted to show the data. But yeah, then it's pretty cool. So things I struggled with were that when I first started the project, I took all these sensors, the LCD screen, and I just threw them all onto the board, and I just crossed my fingers and hoped that it worked. And obviously it didn't. So basically what I learned was that I had totally messed up. I put a ton of wires in the wrong places, and it was just kind of a jumbled mess. So I just took everything off, started with one thing at a time, and just was really precise and went very carefully with it. And in the end, that helped a lot. And if I had done that at the beginning, it would have been much faster and much less confusing, stressful. So that's one thing I learned. And a hint I have is that the LCD screen, so when you display the numbers on your serial monitor, they return every line, like the new data. But on the LCD screen, since there's only two rows, if it does that, all the words just get jumbled and kind of messed up. So what I did is I have it so that the LCD screen is clearing every time in between those data checks, so that basically it's like taking the data, clearing it, and then printing that new data right on the same place so it doesn't get jumbled. And that works pretty well. So yeah, that's my main project.